3 cultist fleets down and 3 colonies up. Well, almost. Now, who and where are the neighbors? Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Federations in our final Federation 2 series. So we've defeated the cultists, at least their initial
system survey concluded
fleets, which is wonderful. Now we are waiting on a science ship to return. Let's go ahead and stay on speed 2. We're waiting on the science ship piloted by Benedetta D'Antoni, our new scientist. She is going to look into what's going on with that debris. And then I'm going to tell her to research that anomaly as well. We have some expansion to do this episode. As I mentioned at the end of the last one, we will be adding some more starbases soon, but before I pick where I'm putting them, I want to know a little bit more about what's going on down here. We will very likely have a starbase out here because there's trade value to be collected from these systems. Tokvan is a very good candidate. I'm almost positive it'll be Tokvan, possibly even Korea, because Sol's station can be expanded to take up a lot of that trade value. Recovery efforts completed. After sifting through the debris left by the strange cultist warship we destroyed, our scientists believe they may have divined the source of the ships the Fellowship has been throwing against us. Fragments from a log file mention some kind of abandoned alien shipyard discovered by the cultist ship's fleeing soul. They have been using the automated shipyard to reinforce their numbers, and now they are even producing new ships from alien templates found within the station's memory banks. This cannot be allowed to continue. That shipyard must be destroyed. So, track on map. Where is it? Okay, it's over there. Not far. It's in the Gammas Vale. We need to head that way anyway. So, that is where we're headed next, interestingly enough. All right, let's go to speed 2. And we are currently surveying Hadar. And what's Hadar look like, by the way? Okay. Class G star, like Sol. And then we have a number of worlds. Nothing habitable, but we'll see. Hadar 5 is a barren world with a barren moon. Hadar 5A. Okay, so we have colony ships on the way. We have a colony ship already en route to Alpha Centauri, which is wonderful. Found the colony of Avalon. And the colony ship being built. Almost done. 60% done. And Sirius. Great news. So the colony has been established in the Sirban system. So something I would like to go ahead and do is give the order to encourage planetary growth on Atlantis. We had 1,000 food to do that. We've already done it on Earth. So we want to make sure that those worlds are growing rapidly. Now, with a brand new colony, notice we just have the reassembled ship shelter as our colonial center. We have no districts built, and we have only 2 pops. So we have the bonus 1 pop from the tradition that we picked. We need to wait until we grow to 5 pops, which you can look at population here to see population growth, how long it's going to take. You can see all kinds of information about population, actually. But until we reach 5, we won't be able to build another building. And there are buildings later on that enable you to grow the colony even faster, so that there are certain choices you should make about what to build first, because they can help everything kind of snowball.
We have detected an anomaly.
Someone has destroyed the alien shipyard that was being used by the Fellowship in their crusade against us. Preliminary reports indicate that the cultist forces were thoroughly wiped out, but we have also received intelligence that the cult's charismatic leader left the shipyard on her new flagship moments before the battle had begun. She is still at large somewhere in the galaxy. Military intelligence is working on pinpointing the exact location of her flagship. She will be found. Interesting. That means we may have some company out near the Gammas Vale. Faint traces of weapon radiation indicative of a military spacecraft have been detected on Hadar. Oh, hello. That's the middle of the star. On the star? Leave B for now. Okay, our new tradition is just picked up. I don't know where that fleet is, but she's somewhere, and I'm guessing she's somewhere out there. I'm glad I looked where it was before the end. Okay. Monumental moment here. We have our final tradition and expansion, which will reduce empire sprawl from colonies, which is good. We need that to happen, given that we are adding systems pretty rapidly and we're adding colonies pretty rapidly. It's going to be a bit of a juggling act for the first little bit here, but thankfully we don't have any penalties on our colonies, and the colonies should do pretty well. Are we sure we wish to adopt Courier Network? Yes. Now, by finishing that tradition tree, we also have gained the ability to build an additional district on all of our planets, because we have adopted the expansion tradition tree entirely. We also have the ability to pick an ascension perk. So I think what I would like to do here, let's see, Technological ascendancy is always very tempting for my first choice. We can go with imperial prerogative, which would improve our administrative capacity even more. If this number, which is our empire sprawl, goes above our capacity, our administrative capacity, then we start to suffer penalties as a result of that. As you can see, it increases the cost of technologies. Read the bottom of the tooltip. Technologies, traditions, leaders, edicts, and campaigns. Edicts and campaigns are very similar options that you can choose on this F7 tab. Yes, I know, I haven't forgotten about the Ascension perk. So that's handy, but one thing that's happened in this version of Stellaris so far, from what I've observed, it's easier than it used to be. And I have questions about this, and we can talk about it in the comments section for sure, but it's easier than it used to be to keep your administrative cap over your empire sprawl. So it's like, how do you play tall? If it's easier to keep sprawl up to where you never have penalties, like one of the reasons that system is in place that I've been aware of as an experienced Stellaris player, and now I'm talking a bit more to the experienced players in the room, not necessarily the new players. New players just understand that it is, in the current version, pretty easy to keep this number higher than that number, which is what you want to do, so you don't have penalties. But the way the system used to work is that it was hard to do that. Reason being, if you wanted to have a big empire, good for you, but it was going to be more costly to maintain a bigger territory. Whereas if you made the choice to stay small and keep this number under this number, which is called playing tall, when you are purposefully not expanding and instead you're improving the territory you have, then that was a viable alternative. But I'm just curious what playing tall looks like now in the current version. Totally talk about it, because I'm interested in what you guys think and what you've seen in your experiences. I haven't attempted a tall playthrough yet, because again, I've been preparing for this series. And again, they're all kind of tall playthroughs at the moment, because if a tall playthrough is defined as something that stays, or that keeps sprawl underneath administrative cap, then what is a wide playthrough? Like, what's the difference? So I'll be curious how people feel about that. I haven't quite put my finger on that as of yet. I'm going to go ahead and tell the first fleet to return to Sol so that we can have a little bit more energy income. That's going to come in handy. We don't have any other options yet. Notice we're getting 4 influence per month now, thanks to our factions, which is nice. It's actually, when you mouse over it, it's close to 5. This always rounds down. Always, always, always. Never rounds up, even when it should. So note that sometimes +4 may actually be closer to 5. All right, technology completed. Off-world trading company is done. So we can research something that will improve pop speed across the board. Yes, please. Let's do that right away. Yes, there were other good options, but nothing so good as an improvement to pop speed. All right, so what else are we doing here? We've got this science ship surveying there. Come back and finish surveying Procyon for me, would you please? When you're done.
Colony establishment has begun.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add the Unix system to our territory. And we have enough to add another one after that, which is good news. Might be Hadar. I haven't discovered any resources in Hadar yet, sadly, so we might hold off, because nothing's going to take Hadar from us. We're the only empire that can get to it now, unless we, get attacked. Which is possible. The beginning of...
Situation log has been updated.
Interesting. The beginning of Stellaris games can be nerve-wracking on any difficulty level, because you never quite know where the closest enemy is. You never quite know... Not nerve-wracking in a bad way, but it's just, you're like, ooh, man, because things can go badly awry. You can have bad starts in Stellaris, is all I'm really trying to say. And so right now, we don't know whether we have a good start or a bad start. We'll know soon, but we don't know right now. We have a good start from what we can tell, but we don't know where our neighbors are or who they are, which is why I opened the episode with that question. Deep space reconnaissance probes have picked up faint subspace emissions in a star system consistent with the drive signatures of the alien ships used by the Fellowship. The cult's missing flagship is the most probable source. We should send forces to search the system as soon as possible. That ship and its charismatic master are too dangerous to leave at large. Ready the fleet. Where are you? Is the question. Ooh, it's closer. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do.
System survey concluded.
You finish surveying Ataus Niria, which is, it's a big system. Wow. It's a small star, but it's got a lot of planets.
Construction completed.
Star has a lot of children. All right, let's get that mineral station built, and I will also, once you're done with that, I want you to go ahead and build Paya Space as well. Oh, we still haven't picked our Ascension perk, have we? Okay, so Interstellar Dominion, Technological Ascendancy. So Dominion would just reduce starbase influence cost and claim influence cost. Technological ascendancy is not only a boost to research speed, but also rare technologies appear 1.5 times faster. That's always so tempting for me as the first choice. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. Like, why wouldn't you do something that's gonna help everything for the rest of the game? We have that option now. Let's do it. But you can use that same argument for any of the other bonuses, or many, not necessarily all, but many of the other bonuses. Like, you know, the order in which you select things, you have that benefit sooner. So it's really whatever you want. And I have a tendency just to feel really strongly about just wanting to research things and get ahead of the curve technologically, to where if I do encounter hostile neighbors, I can have weapons that are capable of defeating them and that I can use to defend myself. Seems just like a generally good policy to follow.
We have detected an anomaly.
Although Atos Neria 4 appears totally desolate and devoid of life, our scanners have picked up an encrypted signal emanating from it. Atos Neria 4, interesting. So this world has that anomaly on it. I'll tell you what, why don't you go ahead and research that, please. Won't take you too long. Alright, so this construction ship now has nothing to do. Well, you could expand into Hadar, but Hadar has no resources in it. None at all. Alien writing. Someone used a mining laser from orbit approximately 5,000 years ago to carve a large body of writing into the surface of Sirius 3. That's right, we have this anomaly, and I sent the Azofi back to look at it. The massive script covers a large portion of the moon's upper hemisphere and appears to be a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien mercenary. So this is on the moon of Sirius 3A. So of our colony, which is soon to be the colony of Terra Nova, Sirius 3A has some writing on it. So we can now have some additional science research from that, which is quite lovely. Let's go ahead and do that. So that's another 3 points per month into our science research, or into our society research, which is here. That's pretty handy. So let's see what happens as this finishes building. Watch this construction.
A new world of opportunities awaits.
Good. So the Terra Nova colonization has started. We now have one colony built, and it's growing, and then 2 that are in the process of being established. Having decrypted the signal, Darcy Brooks was astonished to discover it was broadcasting in an archaic form of one of the main human languages, speaking in these, thous, and whenceforths. It appears to be reciting one of the lost works of Mira Markova, a renowned human playwright who lived some 600 years ago. It appears that the broadcasting device, a simple satellite dish protected by a small shelter, is the only non-natural structure on the planet. There is no hint as to who left it there or why, but going by the wear and tear on evidence, it must have been there since shortly after the play was first written, long before humans learned the secret of space travel. We can only assume it was left there by ancient visitors to Earth who took a liking to the play and decided to pay our species a strange and unexpected tribute. So we can say wonderful news, disseminate the recording across the nation, and get some unity that would help us. Let's see. It would knock out a little bit more than a quarter of our progress to the beginning of the next tradition tree. Or we can say a gift. And for 60 months, 5 years, Xenophile ethics will be 100% more attractive. So that helps factions that basically we're already Xenophile. So it helps us stay more in line. It would help us with our unity, not our literal unity, but it would help us with our factions, and it would help factions that are in line with our existing ethics get stronger. Or we can say, and then of course we get the 10% happiness bonus. So I think I'd rather go with that. I'd have that happiness bonus for 10 years because that's going to help with productivity on our colonies for the next 5 years. That's worth doing, I think. Similar benefits, I think, in either case. All right, so this science ship now has nothing to do. I mentioned that I would like to find out what's going on here. So let's do that. I'm giving a bunch of survey orders. So I'm not doing the explore trick anymore. Now that I've found my habitable worlds, I'm just doing more traditional. Survey that. I'm doing shift click for all of those, by the way, if that's not obvious.
Construction completed.
Good. Build a mining station. Notice we're no longer having any issues with minerals for the time being. That could change rapidly, but for the time being, we're okay. Yeah, Hadar has just nothing in it.
Is the key
Makes me sad.
to the universe.
Okay, now you're done with Atos Neria. A couple of things. Good. Survey speed is improved, and we have the option to automatically explore, which is wonderful. Ooh. We're okay on energy for now. I'm going to go ahead and go for global energy management for the same reason that I went for the trade station, for the off-world trade company when I did. Because if I don't use this option now, it might be a while before I get it again. And the capacity overload edict, if we have the influence to launch it, can be useful. Plus the energy grid building is wonderful. So it's going to take 91 months, but I want to go for that. You, however... thought so. We're going to pay a visit to that system. Let's see if we can figure out how strong the cultist flagship is. Ruined matter decompressor. What? Impossibly perched on the event horizons of the Federations black hole. You are kidding me. Oh, that is fantastic. Is some kind of mining apparatus. Our scientists theorize this may be a matter decompressor, a megastructure designed to mine materials from a black hole. While it is no longer fully functional, some mechanism preventing its spaghettification must still be operational. Fascinating. Guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps from Sol is a ruined matter decompressor, which is the equivalent. It's a newer wonder, but it's the equivalent of, or a newer megastructure, if you want to call it that. Sorry, my inner civilization player is sneaking in. But it's a newer megastructure. It's the equivalent of the Dyson Sphere, which gives you massive energy boosts in the late game. But for minerals. So, once we repair that, that not only will give us the ability to work with other megastructures in cool ways, but we will have tremendous energy production. And it's also, if we can lock down this cluster, it's in a pretty safe spot, too. Unless, the end game crisis appears on this rim and then takes it from us immediately, which could happen. Yay. Hopefully they appear somewhere over there. Just not that exact spot. That would be fine. But you never know. All right, well, that's freaking wonderful. I'm
System
over the
survey
moon
concluded.
on account of that. All right, we are jumping. How strong are you? All right, this is the leader of the cultists. You look like a sinister jerk. Oh my god, are you serious? That's not that strong. We can take them on right frickin' now. Wonderful. So you've found us at last. No matter. My disciples are more than willing to give their lives for the future of the human species. I am that future, in case you didn't realize. When we have dealt with your pitiful forces, my holy flagship shall carry me to Earth, where we will at last cleanse our homeworld of unbelievers. This ends here. Yeah. No, what, Darcy? Oh, you're still set to passive.
Evasive maneuvers.
Get out. Oh man, I'm glad I noticed that. Ooh, that would have been bad. Because when they're set to passive, they'll automatically do that. What? What? Oh my god, this is stupid. This is just stupid. Like, I'm so excited right now. We have detected some kind of utterly massive space installation drifting quietly on the edge of the Alvira system. Although preliminary scans show it to be very... Experienced Stellaris players know why I'm stupidly excited right now. Show it to be very old. The structure has an intense power signature. Several smaller structures can be seen floating near the main installation, and all of them appear to be heavily armed. If we are to learn the true nature of this ancient relic, we will likely have to overpower... and a 20-slot continental world in there too. Overpower its defenses through force of arms. That will not be easy.
Our science ship has been destroyed.
Boo. Well, at least it was our lower level scientists, so we just lost the Azofi. But the enigmatic fortress, we won't be able to fight that thing for a while, but it's, again, safe in our territory. We can seal it off if we take the Federations black hole. I'm going to do that right frickin' now. And that's going to give us some awesome bonuses that we can use not only against other empires later in the game, but against potential endgame threats. So it doesn't guarantee victory, but it's a huge help, and it's a wonderful thing to have so close to you, in the same way that it was wonderful to have literally next door the ruined matter decompressor. Holy crap. All right. I'm so excited. We do still need to think about shipyards and where we're building them. Oh, we're at our admin cap too. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Science ship, Gauger in class. Build another one, please and thank you. All right, so we currently have 47 influence. Oh, and a Leviathan. News of... Oh, that's what that is. News of a giant being seen in the dark void of space is spreading across the Empire like a plague. There is concern and optimistic wonder, but mostly brings us an existential dread to the populace, or brings an existential dread to the populace. Historical documents will record this day as one of tremendous importance. It is awe-inspiring. It killed our scientist. That's not awe-inspiring, that's awful. What are you talking about? It killed her. She's dead. She's never coming back. That's not something to celebrate. Thank you very much. All right, so our new science ship, the NSS Aldrin. Oh, I love that name. All right, good. So we have a scientist, Luc Pelletier, Luc Pelletier, would be 10% faster, or he has a 10% better chance, not faster, 10% better chance of discovering anomalies. I will take that, actually. Let's roll with it. Go ahead and survey that system, and then that one, and then that one, and then that one, and that one. And we have Auto Explore too, so once I've given those orders, I think I'm just going to queue up Auto Explore at the very end of that. Not sure why it's not showing a list of orders there. Weird. I'm doing it again just to double check and make sure that my shift key wasn't registering or something, but it is. Okay. Well, I've given the orders, so we're good. That might mean there's something going on there. I'm a little bit worried about that. We'll keep an eye on it. Okay, now we still need to finish surveying Procyon, though. Oh, you're going there now. Perfect. Tell you what, why don't you head that way too? As much as I want to have this in my territory, this archaeological site. Well, actually, now that I've thought about it, I do want to go ahead and build that. Let's get it built. Reason being, if there's an enemy empire out here in the Gammas Vale that destroyed the cultists, yeah, we're over our cap, so we have a slight penalty to technology cost, tradition adoption cost, and campaign cost. But if there's an enemy, I want to have this territory to lock down before they start encroaching. Procyon's mine. I can grab that later. All right, Atlantis has some unemployment. So when you have a colony developing for the first time, you generally keep an eye on these icons here to see what you would like to do, or what needs to be done, and what you would like to do with the colony. So we have some blockers here. We can't clear them yet because, again, we haven't researched how to clear impassable mountains, active volcanoes, toxic kelp, or toxic kelp. They're the same type. So these blockers, you can see, are preventing some of our districts from being built, but it would take a while before we hit that capacity anyway. So these guys, however, are just looking for work. This is a basic worker level unemployment, so we know that we need to build a district of some kind. What I generally do is look at my three main resources and see where the need is greatest. This is a new colony, so it makes sense that one of the first things we would establish is an agriculture district. We want to be able to farm on Atlantis, so let's do that. And that is our weakest production point right now, too. I know that looks like it's a separate sector. It's not. It's just because the border gets so narrow here that the game draws a line where it shouldn't.
Readings registered.
Oh, nice. Our sensors indicate odd irregularities in Procyon B's energy emission pattern. So that's Procyon B, the smaller of the two stars. Needs a research project. Go ahead and take care of that, please. All right, new science ship is on the way to this unknown system. Shame about that scientist. I hate to lose scientists in the early game. Sometimes I've literally rage quit Stellaris at times when I've just gotten, maybe we all have, when I've gotten a particular run of bad luck and had science ships just repeatedly get killed, like to where I am not able to keep any of my scientists as they level up because they just happen to run into bad luck. Even though I have evasive mode turned on, just whatever they discover in a system, like they run into a Leviathan, it kills them. When you run into a Leviathan, whether it's the Enigmatic Fortress or any other, they generally kill you immediately because they're really strong. All right. Now this is the strongest of their fleets that we fought, but we're still stronger. Let's go down to speed 1 and watch this. Remember what happened the first time we fought with this number of ships against a fleet? Yeah, see, they're already down to 379, and we haven't lost any of our shields or armor yet. And that's for the entire fleet, though. There might be some ships. Yeah, the NSS Grizzly is struggling a little bit. Yeah, all right, we lost one ship. They were destroyed. Doing pretty well, though. The Jackdaw is suffering a little bit. So this agriculture district will finish building, and then that unemployment icon will go away. Star patterns. The latest sensory readings from Procyon B showed the star pulsating regularly, but when the crew on NSS Asimov arrived on site, there was no evidence to support this data. While most of the crew are in agreement that the anomaly was caused by a sensory malfunction, Science Officer Darcy Brooks discards this theory. Darcy Brooks claims to have discovered similar pulsating energy emission patterns elsewhere and now fears that something strange is happening to the galaxy's stars. They may have charted the course of the nearest affected star. Or they have charted the course of the nearest affected star. So we can begin this chain, or we can get 25 free influence. Normally, to protect my scientist, because this can go badly, I would pick it was a malfunction, plus 25 extra influence, yay. But because Darcy is our low-cost scientist and doesn't necessarily have any skills right now, and we don't have a guarantee that she'll get any cool skills, it doesn't necessarily hurt her. It's not a guarantee. I don't think it is. So we're going to say issue special project, pulsating stars. And we're going to see, oh, it's Hadar. We can just go there and get that done. Cool. All right, well, she's going to finish surveying Procyon. And then I want you to go take care of that project. Our forces have managed to disable the flagship of the Fellowship. Flagship of the Fellowship. Its weapons and engines are no longer functional, but life support systems remain stable. We should prepare for a boarding action. Due to the large number of armed cultists within the ship, a significant number of troops will be necessary to secure it. That ship will be ours.
Situation log has been updated.
So let me guess. Has one transport ship in orbit, of course. So we just need one transport ship. Does it help if I recruit more than one army? I don't think it does. I'm going to just build 2 armies on her. Just 2. We need to build armies anyway. It's not something I typically do in the early game. I need to be better about it. Armies you need for planetary conquests only. And a lot of times you can fight a war without actually landing troops on a planet. You really can. So, all right, let's send you back. Well, we've defeated the cultists, guys. Let's finish surveying Procyon. I kind of want to see what happens. Before we end this episode, I want to see what happens with Darcy. I want to give myself that satisfaction before I end this, because this is also the end of a recording session for me, so my curiosity has been piqued. Oh, yep, let's go ahead and build that mining station. What have we here? Reinforcements in transit, yes. So that's a new notification that's been added to show you that, or at least I think it's new. It only started popping up for me when I started playing this version of the game. But to let you know that you definitely have ships that are on the way that are not showing on your military fleet list because they're part of your existing fleet. They're just not currently in the same system. They're traveling to meet up. The Osrove system. Very small system. About to be fully surveyed, as a matter of fact, and then we can expand in that direction. Although we may not. We might wait. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give the order to
We have detected an
get
anomaly.
Korea. Impressive structures litter Osrove 1's surface, practically begging for some archaeological work. Again, this is a challenging anomaly. So, yeah, they're 2 levels lower than the anomalies level. So let's go ahead and leave that be for now. And looks like some of our scientists on Earth have leveled up. All of our scientists on Earth have leveled up. Okay, Earth also has a need for some new... This is a slightly different situation because we are down not only a job, but we are down a housing unit. Now, you can solve this a couple of different ways. Typically speaking, whenever I am down housing units, I go ahead and build a city district. Reason being, it gives you lots of extra housing to where that doesn't pop up again anytime soon. And it provides a clerk job, which will produce, as you can see, trade value and amenities. Amenities are getting pretty low on Earth, and a trade value boost wouldn't be the worst thing. So I will do that. But you have the option as well of building generator districts. Look at that, housing +2. Look at that, housing +2. Agriculture districts, housing +2. So you can solve both of these problems, the housing shortage and the job shortage, by building any district you want when it's just like this, when it's -1, -1, and the worker type is, when the unemployment type is a worker type pop. But I'm going to build a city district. We still need to solve our Empire Sprawl problem, which we will be able to do once we have another building slot available. I don't know if we'll necessarily solve it at that exact moment, but we'll be able to solve it at that moment.
System survey concluded.
All right, so the transports have been built. I'm going to send them here. I'm not going to assign a leader. All right, Procyon has been... Oh wow, Procyon is another mineral-rich system. So this is quite a good start so far. I have to say, it seems like we're being treated pretty well by the game so far. We don't know where our neighbors are. So again, what I said at the beginning of this episode holds up. We could have a fanatic purifier right nearby.
Registered.
Impressive structures litter a small area on the surface of Afriri 1C. What's Afriri look like? Another small system, practically begging for some archaeological work. Maybe for now. I feel like that was the same as the one in Azeroth. Yeah. Same warning. It's not often that you have 2 anomalies in a row that are exactly the same text. They've done a pretty good job of diversifying that. I'm going to send this construction ship back to Procyon. By the time he arrives, I bet they'll be able to build. Because I want those minerals, man. That's It's just an awesome system. 2 mineral mining spots, and you can mine the star for energy. All right, good. So Avalon has finished their colony. Terra Nova will be done in just less than a year.
Construction completed.
All right, so we now have an archaeological site in our territory, which I would like to exploit as soon as possible. I'm going to go for that research station first, then those mining stations, but we're going to wait on that, and we'll do that in the next episode. For now, I just want to see what happens with Darcy here. This could be bad. This could be sad, even, but we'll see what happens. What you doing? There she is. Okay. All right, so the first fleet's been repaired, and they're now, as you can see, in orbit around their home base, which you can set right here. All right, so she's going to look at that project. How long is it going to take her? That's the question. I'm tempted to go up to speed 3, but we're going to leave it on speed 2 just because we're still in that early exploration phase, and I don't want to skirt past it too quickly. All right, she's plowing through that. We're going to know in a few seconds whether or not we get a positive or negative outcome to this. Let me take a quick look at our factions. Okay, faction situation is still the same. One thing I may be able to do... Oh, you know what I can definitely do? Is encourage planetary growth on Avalon. But one thing I can do is potentially... Hang on. Yeah, I'm getting close to a point where I might be able to maintain solid liquidity, which will help me get more influence from my largest faction by just having a larger stockpile of energy credits on hand. So that's good news. We're building more energy mining stations as we speak.
The special project has concluded.
Oh, man. Okay, well, at least we got some society research from it. The crew on NSS Asimov has made an unfortunate discovery. Like they suspected, the pulsating pattern observed from Hadar was in fact due to a sensory malfunction in Science Officer Darcy Brooks's head. Darcy Brooks has turned erratic and suffers delusions about the star's pulsating coded warnings about the coming apocalypse and of having been appointed protector of the realm. The crew believes she herself manipulated the ship's sensory data during a psychotic spell. Darcy Brooks is now in a medical pod headed back to Earth, where she'll receive treatment. Thank you for your service, Darcy Brooks, protector of the realm. So, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Is that a reference to something? Let me know in the comments. Might be a reference to a novel that I'm not aware of, or a movie. Anyway, society research gained 150. How's that going to help us? Ooh. That's going to bring us real close. Actually, it didn't appear to. Again, the research system can be more complicated than meets the eye. Did I misread that? Or, all right, the Map the Stars edict affecting our empire has expired. I think I'll leave that off for now, but we're still 1 month away from finishing that, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, transport fleets. You need to do that. All right, let's finish off the cultist chain before we finish this episode, shall we? We're right there.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Pop growth speed is now higher. Oh, fantastic. Okay, monthly unity +2. This is one I like to go for as soon as possible. It is a little bit more expensive on account of Empire Sprawl right now. Let's go ahead and go for that. It'll be done in 27 months. These icons are about to disappear. And bye-bye. Terra Nova's almost done too.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Great. Corvettes now build faster. Planet build speed. Ceramo-metal armor. Yep. Let's improve our armor just in case we encounter hostile aliens soon. All right, so we have to hire yet another new scientist. Nice. Anomaly research speed +35%. Robert Stiles is our new researcher. So why don't I send you back out here. I'm going to have you manually survey these. I don't know how we get there. Might be something we discover later on. All right, let's see what happens here. Here we go.
Has concluded.
After slowly fighting their way deck by deck, our Marines have finally eradicated the last pockets of resistance on the former flagship of the Fellowship. Few prisoners, I love saying that, were taken as most of the zealous cultists preferred to throw their lives away in futile suicide attacks. The cult's leader was found on the vessel's bridge, killed by her own hand. At long last, it looks like the Fellowship has met its end. Our engineers have restored power to the ship's engines, and it has been pressed into service within our fleet as the dawn of creation. The vessel should be brought to a spaceport as soon as possible for more permanent repairs. Excellent. So we have the former cultist flagship now that looks like that. How about it? Let's go ahead and have them merge up. And you will now automatically join up with the First Fleet. We're going to send you back to Earth. No, not land army. It's just inner orbit. How about that? You can hang out there. And on that note, I will stop this episode here. And the next one, we are going to continue exploring, like we said we were going to this time, but just so many cool things happened that we were kind of slowed down in looking into the Gamma Sphere. I suspect that we have an alien empire roughly here. So we kind of know where our neighbors might be. Terra Nova is days, like 10 days from being finished. So we will have 4 colonies at the opening of the next episode as we continue as the unified Solar Republic. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.